The Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council on 6 June 2023 had a meeting with its members in preparation for the upcoming closing season.
I think we started the meeting. Let me, natural fact, I know you are all capable and able to handle this meeting, and then we'll report to you. You understand? Number one, concerning the cruise season, I'm just rushing through the items. The cruise season, you know, especially our brothers from the water region and the western region, because you are in the corners. Water region, those around Aflao, Keta area, they run to Togo, and then the night they come and fish. You see, 1 month close season, don't be Mr. Smart. It won't help you. I don't have the powers that God has. You go no first canoe, sink. Second canoe, sink. Third canoe, sinking. You do it again. Do you understand? You see, let us be one. If we divide our ranks, we will have issues. We have started seeing the results of the process. So why don't we be Mr. Smart? And I think we have also signed an agreement that if any landing beach is found doing IUU, we arrest the chief fisherman. I think that thing should stand. Do you agree with us?
Topics raised at the meeting were the allocation of relief items, premix availability, and illegal fishing activities.
Any chief fisherman who allows IUU at his landing beach, I'm going to meet the Commodore. He's on the committee runner, he's waiting for me. So if you know, at your landing beach, there's an IUU going on, and that you can't control them, see us in chambers. You understand? Now we should be serious. People are calling us names. The Canoe Council will be around for 41 years. We haven't done focus. And when I hear this, it hurts me. Do you understand? So the close season will go everywhere. We will tell you. One will come and it's true that they are doing it. Even if you are my friend, we will pick you up first. Yes. I'm here to find out from the minister whether there will be relief items or what he wants. You understand? It's near the meeting.
She said that she was going to increase the
I'll follow.
No, she said it.
So
it's in her mind that this time to relief items.
One, whether it's NDC or NPP, there will not be any changement of the color. There will not be any. There will not be any colorful changes in the industry. The same color now you face it.
It's the same people.
The same people now. So we are pleading to the Honorable Minister that those partisanship, those whom they are engaging, those who are involving themselves in making the IU and avoiding people to go and do it, they should avoid those things. Because there is no party color in the industry.
If the chief fisherman at that landing beach, even if the minister comes to tell you that go and do right, you can tell them that I won't do it. You understand? So the honest lies on the land. The minister, she can't come to the landing beaches. So once you are there, you are the minister there.
That is why we do our best by arresting, by telling people, educating people to stop what they're doing, to maintain the rightful power.
But that's the job we should do.
When the frustration fails, we do call for the police to come and arrest the people. But what is the power now? The police will just tell you they don't have any power to arrest.
Let us.
So when I'm the chief fisherman, I do my best by telling, educating people to stop what they're doing.
So I beg you, like I said, I'm working closely this time with the the enforcement. So you, like we did the last year, you send a report.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We'll be very careful.
Yes. Don't worry. You know, if we say we'll do it, we'll do it.
So the promise is overdue all the time.
Sure.
Sure.
What policy?
Before you come, we made some
A budget of 191,000 for us to buy the stationery, receipt books, tools, cards, the ID cards, the plastic ones, and everything. So I was there with them till about 7 o'clock last night. You understand? So maybe within the next week or two. Because they do everything, they have to send it out to Nana for approval. Once the approval comes, maybe in about 2 weeks' time, we should be able to also access those things from the factory. They will be strong enough to. Water Region, I want to congratulate you. I hear you've done your membership, it's still ongoing. You have about a membership of 700 already. Huh?
Yes.
The smallest of all the regions. Now the biggest of all the regions, Central Region, West Region, Fuku. Greater Accra, Fuku. And you are native civil service stuff. I don't hear that one. Because I remember 31st December, 1st January, I sent communication to all the regional executives on the platform that start with your membership rate. And we are in June and you are on it.
We have this submitted the forms to.
Yes, so don't worry. So what we are going to do, in my absence, every region should nominate 15 people. And then we do the clusters. Water region, you have 3 clusters. K2 South, Kita, and then Amanda. But the other regions, from 1 to 2 or 3 or 4, they are all 4. Yes, 15 for each region. So otherwise, I believe that, and then they divide.
Yes,
We're
sir.
expecting to see Canoe Council on our block. It's not there. The signboard is not there. You went there, you know you have an issue. Just a phone call. Oh, please, I'm still there. I still have a problem. You haven't done it. You wrote to him.
Yeah.
So you have to be written to. Don't wait for that. No, please. Just take your phone and call.
It should be acted.
Next time, can we ask you to do something for us? We can't.
Speaking to Mariport Affairs TV, the acting president of the council, Nana Jojo Solomon, further explained the need for government intervention during the closing season.
Thank you, sir. So please, we would like to know the benefits of the closing season to the Fisheries Council.
It's a management measure because we are fishing, we have overcapacity, we have a lot of other problems which are man-made, like people using unauthorized methods to fish, and then these steam vessels who are also poaching our waters. And the minister has taken steps to assiduously work on these industrial vessels. So we're also looking at our mesh sizes and the materials which are not approved materials that we are using as artisanal fishes as we go. I believe that when all these things are well controlled, we begin to see the recovery of maritime.
How best is government involving you in issues concerning the fisheries?
Oh, I think this time around, especially with this current administration, there has really been approval or ratification of the co-management policy of the government, clearly which indicates that government is involving industry in decision making. Things that directly fishes and I think so far so good. It's been better than all years that I promised.
We'd like to also know how well other fisher folks are embracing this closing season. Are they
I
adhering
think,
to it?
like I said, a majority of the fishers. Initially, we had issues, we had resistances. Naturally, every human being opposes change until you realize that the change is for your own benefit. And since the opening of last year's nesting season, fishermen have actually testified that they've seen significant changes and all that. So I believe that now we have the buy-in, but we also want to adopt a precautionary approach so that you don't put them through undue stress issues.
Okay. Speaking about the closing season, is government helping you in terms of relief items to curb all the waiting period?
Oh yes, some people feel like rice and iron. But for me, it is not much, but at least it's yes, it is to suggest that government is not that ruthless. You understand that something to support.
That's why we also need to, save towards the process and augment government efforts in cushioning us during these hard times.
Okay, we also heard recently that the government gave fisher folks some new boats which are made from fiberglass. What is the reason? GKT.
Yes, from Ghana.
Yes. We want to know whether the feedback from fisher folk is positive feedback.
Very positive, but there are a few, adaptations, changes that should happen. We are writing reports as and when the feedback is coming. The Canoe should be a little bit bigger than we are seeing, longer than what we're seeing. As for the stability is perfect. And then some few, but by and large, I think it's perfect. And because of its eco-friendly nature, I believe it will be sustainable to go fiberglass than to go timber, which of course is almost on extinction.
Okay, lastly, is there any new policies that your council would like to put out there to protect the needs, especially?
Well, we are not policymakers, we cannot come up with policies, but we always, under the co-management collaboration, as and when we need to also suggest to the authorities, we will. So now we are actually in bed, industry, policymakers, the managers, we are all collaborating with the industry to where the industry is an industry that supports over 3,000 livelihoods directly or indirectly. And therefore, it is not an industry that should die.
And on our final question, the premix issue, how is it coming up?
Well, off and on, because the subsidies are recently because of Russia and Ukrainian oil issues are something else. We understand government. So we haven't made any advice about it. We understand. We are praying that things should turn around quickly so that we can also concentrate.
Nene Divine Bubuafo, PRO for the Greater Accra sector, spoke to Mariport Affairs TV.
My name is Nene Divine Bubuafo, Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council, PRO, Greater Accra. Say council na your national na your regions na region bia na nemu problems wo na area me kasa ewo Greater Accra region ma ekoso a ye fi say ye betuma ayeniye angabeboa one illegal fishing ekoso ewo region ye nyina ye pe say ye fishing ye be ye nti womo a illegal fishing ye no mo kasa ye ka ho asen say ye chief fisherman ye wo various land beaches nyama bia enkoso enye papa enkoso wo ye land beaches ye ka ho asen ba ya group ebia ukoka illegal fishing one sema obi wo ho a na asem ni say mikenu any net anya wo na uto kuma anya wo na ufidi ni nti wonto me nkyere me ye meye wo sha ye wo mbra efa afarijuma no ho nti den a ye beka ho asem edru mebia ye pese ye di force eshim but osan say ye ni legal backing bia ntino ye ka kodru baby a na ejim say number one challenger yɛwɔ ɛwɔ Greater Accra ɛna mabɔ so.
So, just since some members need to and another official focus on extent. What say?
Oh, ɛno me ne ɔmo nyɛ adwen. On sɛ ade biara a yɛbɛyɛ biara no sɛ ɛnyɛ wo nko a w'adeɛ a sɛ ɛyɛ ɔman adeɛ a obiara kyerɛ n'adwen. Nti mefiri sɛ wɔn a wɔn ɛka sɛ ɛyɛ standard man bi na deɛ ɛyɛ wɔn adwen na wɔde kyerɛ. But yɛn technical people a wɔn wɔ ground deɛ wɔn ehu ne deɛ wɔn experience no ɛno na yɛde yɛ adwuma. Premise na asɛm no de sɛ yɛsi yɛbɛka ade bɛkyɛ government nankasa edikan abɛka kyerɛ sɛ sika ɛni hɔ nti ama premise ne kahɔn sɛ premise wɔn mo kura every day ɛdiba na sɛbi sika nso ɛna yɛdi kura nti sɛ sika ɛni hɔ a den na yɛbɛyɛ sika ɛni hɔ government no wama yɛayɛ aware sɛ sika ɛni hɔ. Sika ni hɔ no sɛ wo fɔ so na na kyerɛ sɛ wo de sika kɔhyɛ wo sɛ ɔno fa ntɔ adeɛ ne mbrɛ na wo nso a wo nyɛ bi ɔno so nyɛ bi wo kasa kora ɛyɛ kwa nti nea wobɛyɛ ne sɛ wobɛka wano ato but keep on pressing sɛ ade no ɛho hia wo sɛsi a premise no di hɔ nti ɛtɔ baabi a yɛkɔtɔ super na yɛatɔ yɛ mixi ansa na yɛtumi de ayɛ ɛno so no ɛmboa yɛn machines outboard motors a yɛuse no wokɔtɔ super na wode ɔyɛ ne mixi a wo a wakɔyɛ wonyɛ technical man no nti no wontumi mixi no sɛna broni bɛtumi amixi no nti yɛ mixi no anyhow na ɛno so no ɛmboa outboard motors no nti ama outboard motors na ɛkyɛ na asɛ. Advice I be the ma or more and say deɛ wɔn yɛ no ɛyɛ a anka yɛ nka ho asɛm ɛnyɛ nti ɛna yɛgu so ɛka ho asɛm na sometimes no political interferences no so ɛdɔɔso ɔho sɛ obi yɛ bɔne na woma police kɔkyi na onim sɛ ɔwɔ ne panyin bi a ɔyɛ NDC anaa NDP mo bɛduru police station hɔ no na obi afrɛ ama ɔda mo gyaa no nti nipa no ba afei na ɔba bɛyɛ nea ɛkyɛn kane no nti no advice a mede bɛma ɔmo ani sɛ wahwɛ sɛ deɛ woyɛ no ɛnyɛ nti no ama ɛnam ɛni hɔ bi yɛsi yɛ ade papa na ɛnam ɛntra hɔ na wonya no de biara na wonya sika mpo wɔ kotoku mu nti yɛngyae IUU yɛgyae a yɛn nyinaa yɛn ho bɛtɔ yɛn nananom abere so no na wɔn yusu light wɔn yusu DDT kombo ne yɛ keka ɛnso wɔn kɔ ɛba de biara ɛnya sika ebi wɔ mu saa time ne kora mpo no wɔn nya sika ɛsen ɛnɛ.
Togwe Emmanuel Tete, PRO for the Ada sector, spoke on relief items allocation.
I'm Togwe Emmanuel Tete, Chief Fisherman representing Salakoko, and also a PRO on the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council Board in Accra.
Could you please share some concerns or major problems from fishing people that they presented to us?
I can say that I established my fishing industry late in 70s. Maybe by those times, some of people were not. But I never encountered any difficulty. These are the fishing is concerned. But about 10 years down the line now, we are meeting a lot of difficulties, particularly concerning our inputs. The inputs, let me give credit to our new minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture Development, Ms. Hawakusi. Mrs. Hawakusi. She is doing a lot, and she has done a lot for us, the fisher folks, in order for us to advance into the next stage. But there are some pulling backs, particularly from the government representatives in the regions, and at the same time the districts. You know, since this government came to power, we received several items from arbor moto to even common rice here. But the equation of the inputs being brought to us, if really it can enter our hand, with the fisher folks' hand, I promise you, we will be the greatest people in Ghana here. But it's going all the time going into wrong hands. That is our one disadvantage. Not that the government is not doing our own, the government is doing everything for us, but it's not coming right. Coming to premise, which is the water we use for our machines, is the water the machines drink before it can work. The premise is nowhere to be found nowadays. And who are you to talk about premise now? You don't know how to talk about it. You fall a victim. So I said, I promised myself not to talk anything about premise. I only pray to the government that they take a step to correct the wrongs in connection with the distribution of to the various regions and municipalities, as well as the districts. Coming close season. The close season is being observed. Me particularly, I've been to many countries in the whole world. As a sea captain, I traveled a lot of many countries. Only in Greenland I never been. Close season is being observed in many countries. And whenever it is observed, it yields something to the fisher folks. There is a benefit the fisher folks get across. Before they introduced that, all the fisher folks have to be compensated with some relief items, from money to fishing inputs, both male and female. It is done in South Africa, it's done in Senegal, it's done in Gabon, it's done in many countries in Africa. Singapore, Australia, all those things, all those areas. Close season is being observed there. But the benefit, well, what we are doing in Ghana here, I think we are not mature enough yet for the benefit to come to with the fisher folks. So I pray that the next time, as we are going to observe it now, the government must change the character, whatsoever the little they are giving us, they can multiply it. We are almost entering the fishing season. Some of us are not having our motor. We are not having fuel to take us to sea. Those are the problems we are facing so far.
Do you have any advice for other members of other people who are into illegal fishing?
The illegal fishing is a canker around this, it's giving us a hell of a problem. We are advising them, let's say I'm from Volta region. It was just last week, Wednesday, we took a step, bold step, that the illegal fishing must stop. And you will see it very soon. As far as immediately the fishing season is reopened, you will see it very soon. We've taken a step. Fishing like using dynamite, live fishing. The most dangerous one is the monofilament net. You know what it does is whenever they erect the net like that, the fish normally go in shoals. Anyone which come and enter there in shoals, they scatter. And you cannot get them in shoal anymore because of the trap used for them. And whenever the light, they use light also, it drives the fish away whenever the light is taken from the sea. You see? So we are advising them, I'm particularly advising them, everybody, it is all good. And we want to regulate the small mesh net also, we the Voltarians, because the anchovy they are catching now, some don't have even eyes. They are too tiny. Particularly in April, May, June, July. It's not good to use those small mesh. It can be used in, I guess, going, because that time the anchovy is mature.
Mr. Mike Adukwe, an executive member of the council, spoke on the need to stop illegal fishing.
Thank you very much. Currently, the distribution of mixed fuel to the fishing boats is not forthcoming as expected. They have a constant supply sometimes, but it seems for the past 1 week, supply is not forthcoming. So it's a problem.
Do you think the supply of the disbursement should be left to private companies, or since the government is not pushing at this moment?
Oh, I don't think so. So we have the secretariat that take oversight responsibility of this, the distribution of the fuel to the landing beaches. I think they are doing their best, but their best is not good enough because constant supply to the fishing force via the landing beaches through the chief fishermen and some of those at the heads of affairs of the landing beach committees. It's not currently going on as expected because the fishermen are supposed to have regular supply of the brings fuel for their fishing expedition, whilst the cruise season is getting closer. But when you ask, the answer is that they are on course. They are on course. So maybe there are some minor challenges somewhere.
Do you think the fishermen's fault for not reporting the practices at sea? Since sometimes they also direct and are also involved in practicing it.
More practices at sea, like let me see, you wanted to say illegal fishing. IUU is very broad and illegal fishing forms part of IUU. You see, it's a very huge task because fishermen, if you say fishermen, it differs. There are dynamics in fishermen. We have those who pride their trade offshore. They have those who pride their trade within the continental shelf. And so if you are saying IUU, those pride their trade offshore, I don't think you have much to say with regard to IUU, but those who pride their trade within the continental shelf, like the pair seeners and 1 or 2 set nets people, will probably involve themselves in IUU. But the council and the government has sensitized the fishermen enough to desist from practicing these illegal practices. And fortunately, we now have some of the AGUs like Canoe, Ghana, USAID, being supported from getting support from Ghana Fisheries Recovery Activity, EJF, and supporting the council to embark on awareness creation on the do's and don'ts, especially sensitizing them not to engage the for them not to engage themselves in illegal fishing. So we have a task, but gradually we are making a headway.
Please, is the government adding you to policies, or are they involving you in managerial activities concerning issues at the sea for the fishing?
Yes, gone are the days when issues with regard to fishes are being discussed without the involvement of the fishermen or the council. But of late, we have the co-management concept, which whenever anything of that sort from the government is being discussed with the fishermen. And the council itself has also, through some of the NGOs, especially SFNP and now Ghana Fishes Coverage Activity, are doing fishermen to fishermen. That the fisherman talking to his fellow fisherman. Whenever any policy or anything from the government side or even from the council perspective, it is being discussed within the value chain and the fishes as well. And so things are not being hidden from the fishermen as it were, but now transparency gradually is taking place.
It has also come to notice that some fishermen are forced to buy from illegal people. Should it be encouraged? Those who illegally import permits for, should it be encouraged?
No, not as our seas, but it is happening on our landing beaches. You see, the government is subsidizing the premise heavily. It is heavily subsidized product, and if it gets to our landing beaches, the fishermen, the beneficiaries are the fishermen, so they are supposed to have access to the product for them to embark on their fishing expedition with it. But sometimes it landed at the wrong hand. Some of the chief fishermen, I said some of them, do not do what is expected from them, and the party functionaries and some of the people behind the MMDCs followers, some of them take advantage and go and have buy the premise or have access to the premise and then resell it to the fishermen at a higher cost. Even if it is being sold to the fishermen at a higher cost, maybe we are selling, but some of them send it to the hinterlands, to the Galamsey sites and whatnot. And so, certain percentage of the premise is not going to the fishermen as it should have been. So there is a gap or a slight mishap that ought to be corrected. So I think the government, the chief fishermen, whoever is concerned, all the stakeholders should get involved, so that if the product gets to the landing beach, it will get straight to the right beneficiaries and not to the other way around.
Is there any kind of suggestions or need to the government that could help in terms of policies that can help you in having this payments program?
Especially the minister has brought about the automation, which it will dispense the permits to the beneficiaries for their fishing expedition, and plans are far advanced for the automated to get underway. Because about 2 weeks ago, the vice president is supposed to come and launch the premise automation at Elmina and then the rest. I think if you go through that process or that channel, the more practices in the system will come to a halt, or it will minimize greatly. And I think that will be an incentive to the fishermen, or it will be a help to the fishermen. Besides that, earlier on we were talking about the illegal fishing because illegal fishing is a great threat to the marine ecosystem and its environment. And so I think whilst the government is doing the best, because formerly the artisanal fishery is raising hand on the industrial trawlers, and a year, close to 2 years, the government has put things in place to stop the illegal practices of the industrial trawlers, and it has minimized. Let me say it has minimized the illegal practices of the industrial trawlers, but it has now come to the domain of the artisanal fishing. And artisanal fishing, it starts from the canoe to the inshore to the semi-industrials. But what most of our members are saying is that all the laid down regulations and the laws that could help revamp the marine the fishery resources are being thwarted by the semi-industrial vessels, because all for instance live fishing like this we've been told it is illegal, but the semi-industrials have not given heed to it. Every now and then they involve themselves in a live fishing which is illegal, and then the artisan will also will not stop, because they will go and bring a catch, and if they bring a catch the artisan also follow. But coming to the other side of it, like the dynamite, the obnoxious materials and the chemicals that artisanals use, the council as a whole has been sensitizing them and telling them the bad effect of it. We've been lucky to have the USAID, Ghana Fisheries Recovery Act, which is heavily supporting the council to create the awareness against the illegal fishing. Finally, the undersized mesh, which my other colleague made mention of, the small size mesh, which some of our colleagues use in fishing, I think we should put a stop to it for a while, because we are doing close season, and close season happen to be one of the correct management measures that can help rebuild the stock. But if the rebuilding of the stock is taking place and we are using the very small size mesh to harvest the ones that they are coming, I think it will not help the sustainability of the industry. So I will plead with all my fellow fishermen that the laws and the regulation that has been put in place for the sustainability of the marine resources should be observed, so that whilst we are doing harvesting some of the resources, the others who will have interest to enter fishing will also have access to the resources that is left.
Do you have any final advice or any final words for other artisanal fishermen who are very desperate in terms of or in need of the premise flow? That in terms of works of the government, the policies the governments are putting in place in order to fast track the premise?
The bottom line is that if the automation that will be used to dispense the premise fuel is fully put in place, if it is fully functionary, and the government is also subsidizing the product as it is going on now, and the loopholes is not being found anywhere, I think the fishermen will give a sign of relief.
Thank you very much.
You are most welcome, madam.